Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Salt Lake City Snowhawks expansion franchise here on Madden 25, and welcome to Monday Night Football as our Snowhawks hosting the 3-0 Detroit Lions here from Snowhawks Stadium as we look to get back into the win column after a tough loss last time out in our division opener against the San Francisco 49ers. The Lions, a well-oiled machine so far to start this Year 4 season as they enter as Super Bowl favorites here in the NFC this year. So our work cut out for us here on the big stage as we have high expectations here in Year 4. I feel like a broken record saying that every single season, but kind of a make or break season for Lucas McDonald as our franchise quarterback. Very up and down to start this Year 4 season, but hopefully we get more of what we saw back in Week 2 where he threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and made an impact on the ground as the Lions are going to start at the 30-yard line. Jared Goff leading the charge at quarterback, the second leading passer entering this week's matchup. And they will go for Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground. His first carry of the game goes for 2. Last week, Jahmyr Gibbs, hat trick of touchdowns, 17 rushes for 75 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's one of 4 99 overalls on this Lions team, including Penei Sewell at left tackle, Aidan Hutchinson on defense, and also Amon-Ra St. at wide receiver. Now 2nd and 8. And we have boosted the quarter length to 12 minutes. We'll see if we get better results there. Now Goff will throw that one away. Quick pressure that time from Van Ginkel. Now 3rd and 8, and we are without our rookie Gilmore there at free safety. Out a couple more weeks. Now Goff on 3rd down. Time to throw. Rifles that one, and that will be caught by Sam Laporta, one of the top tight ends in the game. Bounces off a tackle, and then takes that one for 31 into enemy territory. I think Jerry Sexton at linebacker was a step late getting over there. Helping out with Laporta in coverage. Now back to Gibbs on the ground, and he'll be tackled for a loss that time. Joey Bosa in on the stop. Bosa missed Week 2, but came back for Week 3 in the battle of the Bosa brothers as they each recorded a sack last week. Nick Bosa, of course, there for San Francisco as Jared Goff downfield, and what a rifle that was. Intended target St. Brown knocked down there in the end zone as Goff attacking deep so far. Now another 3rd and long for Detroit. This time from the 38-yard line. Goff in the pocket. Rolls to his right, going to fire across the field as he does have a man there. Breaks the tackle, but short of the first down marker. So a 10-yard gain at the 28, which would be a 45-yard field goal. And I think that's Terrence Webster, former first-round pick from Vanderbilt, now in his 2nd season, as they are going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Goff, quick throw there as he has his man again, Webster, as that goes to the 20. As I said, Terrence Webster, first-round pick, making up this receiving core along with St. Brown and Jameson Williams, as Laporta, another catch there underneath, brings that one to the 12. Now on 2nd and 3, Detroit knocking on the door back for Gibbs, and he'll take that for the first down. Van Ginkel on the stop. Now inside the 10, stacked backfield there for Detroit as Goff on the drop back will hit a man there, Laporta, down to the 3, now 2nd and goal. The Lions are without Taylor Decker at right tackle, but still a very good offensive line featuring Penei Sewell at left tackle, 99 overall, and Frank Ragnow at center as Goff there just going to check that down for Jameson Williams as a well-orchestrated drive to start here on Monday Night Football on the road nonetheless for the undefeated Detroit Lions. So they're setting the tone early as our defense could not hang with them. Too many weapons, a good offensive line, a seasoned veteran at quarterback, and as we said, 2nd in the league in passing entering this week, whereas on defense, Aidan Hutchinson is 1st in the NFL with 5 sacks, so it's going to be tough to contain him, and we're already down 7-0 before he even sets foot on the field. And now we'll see Lucas McDonald and the offense heading out onto the field. It's been a mixed bag to start this Year 4 season, as we see there 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, but he has made an impact with his legs, but we just need to see him be a little more decisive in the passing game. It seems a lot of times he's caught in between whether he wants to run or pass. Just need to be a little more decisive. His first drop back, McDonald a quick one, as that's dropped by Darnell Washington. 2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. We do go to McCaffrey on the ground. He tries to get that outside, just 1 yard. Quick 3rd and 9 now for the Salt Lake City offense. McDonald being chased already by Hutchinson. He will run it this time, but stopped short, only 6 on the ground. And as we said, Agent Hutchinson is going to be seeking him out all game long. but at least a little encouraging that time as McDonald quickly decided to tuck that one and run. But now that it will bring on the punt game as Goff and the offense will now pick it up at the 22. He will take the snap, gives for Gibbs, and a good tackle that time backside by Bosa, making his presence known early on. 2nd and 8. Goff on the drop back here. Roughs that to the sideline, has a man again. That's Sam Laporta. Already his 4th catch here in the first quarter. And as I said, we did extend the quarter length to 12 minutes, but hopefully that doesn't expose us even more than we've already been exposed here throughout this franchise. It's been a rough going. 2 4-win seasons and 1 7-win season, as Kwity Paye does not fall for the faker. It seemed like he actually did fall for the fake, but stuck with it nonetheless. He gets his first sack of the season, I believe. Free agent signing a couple years ago from Indianapolis. And that's a good tone setter there on this series of downs. Now 2nd and 18. Goff directly under center as Laporta there, the motion man. To the bottom of the screen now, Goff on another drop back. Time to throw as he does find a man. That's Laporta as he will get the first down. Jalen Thompson on Sam Laporta, quite the mismatch. And now Goff underneath again as that's Webster's 3rd catch. And you can just tell a team like Detroit compared to our offense, they're just so much further along than we are. All these playmakers scattered all over the place with their X factors, their superstars. As Goff again, a check down there for Williams, gets the first down. Now Williams in motion here on 1st down at the 32. And they will fake it for Gibbs. Goff near sideline there for Williams, a one-handed snag, but that does lose a couple. Quay Walker in on the stop that time. Now 2nd and 12 as they will go for Gibbs. And a good tackle that time by McMillan. Now a 3rd and 8 at the 30. Our defense has to get a stop sooner or later, you would imagine. Fake there to Gibbs. Goff plenty of time to throw, as he does have him in there in the end zone, or I thought he did. And that's going to be knocked down by Jaquan McMillan. He had a bunch of pass breakups last week, and he gets one this week. They're working against the 2nd-year man, Webster, out of Vanderbilt. Already 3 touchdown catches for him, only 1 last year as a rookie. The field goal now up 47 yards is good, which makes it now a 2-possession game for Detroit as we head towards the end of this first quarter. A 3-and-out last time out, which has become the theme of this season so far. Really need to get some encouraging signs going offensively. Just need to get into a rhythm. Already being outgained 118-7. And at least I feel like getting a first down here is a win. Going to give it to McCaffrey as he'll work up for 5. Now at the 36-yard line. McDonald has a man there over the middle of the field. That's Dontavion Wicks, as that'll get 16 into Detroit territory for the first time. Now into the final seconds of this first quarter. Don't have to call a play if we don't want to, as we will not. So 10-0 after 1 quarter of play. I mean, we didn't really have much possession time, so not much we can judge offensively, but Detroit, as we expected, they're going to move the ball very, very well. Jared Goff isn't going to make many mistakes. He's going to rip it all over to all of his weapons. Not to mention Jahmyr Gibbs, probably the best back in the NFL at this point. Certainly have our work cut out for us, even here at home. But playing on the big stage against a Super Bowl favorite, certainly not in our favor. McDonald now to start the second, as that's underneath for Wicks again, this time just for 5. Now at the 43, McCaffrey the lone back. As McDonald on the drop back has Mark Andrews, but that's swatted down. A good play there defensively. Now another pivotal 3rd down here, as we will figure for McCaffrey. He does have him at the sideline, but that's only going to go for 4, so short. And now 4th and 1, we got to go for it here at the 39-yard line. But we will go to the punt game instead. So if this is a touchback, is it even worth getting that 19-yard, as that's almost even blocked? Where's that going out at? Okay, I stand corrected. Down to the 7, so decent decision, I guess, but already down 10 to this Detroit team who's just going to keep moving the ball. I feel like you got to try and get points when you can, especially with our offensive struggles so far this season. Now 10:50 remaining in this second quarter. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the top of the screen. Goff from his own end zone. As he can't work out, we will get to safety. And that's going to make it a 1-possession game now. Did not see that coming, so maybe I stand corrected on that call to punt it. And that is our new punter signed from Chicago's practice squad. And speaking of, practice squad guys, Draymond Jones was a late signing there in preseason, and he earned a roster spot working there against, I think, the fill-in there for Taylor Decker at right tackle as he wins that battle. And we get on the board via the safety, already our second safety here to start this year 4 season in 4 games. What a ratio that is. We're getting more safeties than touchdowns, it seems, as we're going to take over at the 32. McDonald back out there. We need to get something brewing here. 10:43 remaining, and we can tie it up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on this drive. As far away as that seemed to be just moments ago. And now McCaffrey in the backfield as McDonald does hook up with Marvin Harrison Jr. for 6. We haven't heard him much. He's been very quiet to start this season. His 4th season now in the NFL. Of course, we're going to pick up his 5th-year option. And we will go pitch now for McCaffrey. Looks like we did have some lead blockers, but they just couldn't engage their guys. But we do get a yard now. Another 3rd and short. And these are the situations we need to start converting. It looks like Tank Bigsby is the back. As McDonald will throw, and he will hook up there with Bigsby as that gets 5 and a 1st. Now at the 44, McDonald out there empty. We need to see Carlos Alvarez get involved as well, our first-round receiver out of Florida State. McDonald there for Wicks, already his 3rd catch, and that one gets 7 into the Lions' territory. A score here would be so encouraging. McDonald again out there empty. As I thought he was going to have time to throw, but the pocket just collapsed on McNeil was there. Brian Branch was there. As Detroit, a great sack there on 2nd down to force a 3rd and 10 as the Snowhawks back into their own zone. And McDonald shaking up a little bit. Was that the 2nd sack, I think, for Detroit? As we see Aidan Hutchinson there, at the bottom of the line. McDonald going to fling that down the field. And that was almost picked up by Harrison Jr. off the ricochet there, as that was knocked down. Very good coverage down the boundary there by Carlton Davis, veteran out of Auburn. And already the 3rd punt for Salt Lake City. Let's try and pin him back again and get some more points, because it looks like our offense isn't going to be able to get the job done. So our punt coverage there, a couple initial tackles, but bounced off those. Now Detroit again, trotting back out onto the field, taking over at the 22-yard line. And our defense really desperate. I mean, we just had the safety, but still our only means of momentum have come from them. Now Goff, a quick one there, as that will get 4. 2nd and 6 now at the 26. 7 minutes left in the first half of play here in week 4. As Jamison Williams again that time for the 1st down. Jumbo package here for Detroit. As Laporta there, the man in motion. Goff on the drop back. And he has a man there in the hands and out. As one of the reserve tight ends that time, Reed, could not hang on. Which now makes it 2nd down. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I mean, either way, they're going to beat us through the air with those weapons, or on the ground with the best back in the league. And now Goff, again, going to throw here. Up the sideline, and that's just out of the reach of Jamison Williams, out of bounds. Nathan Scruggs on the coverage. Big 3rd down here for Salt Lake City. We haven't been able to force many punts here so far, as Goff had plenty of time to throw, but finally it looked like Joey Bosa was going to start getting in on him. So a big 3rd down stop there for our defense. And we're forcing the punt now from the 34-yard line. Hopefully can take advantage of some good field position. We certainly need it, as this will be returned from the 26, I believe, as Kitchens will take that up a few to the 32. And now 6 minutes remaining, halfway through the 2nd quarter, and still our offense has not been able to find any points. Taking over here at the 32, McCaffrey the back. As he will get the fake there. McDonald's 2nd read towards the sideline for Mark Andrews, just for 4. Now to the 35-yard line. McDonald, a quick one there for Darnell Washington. That gets nothing. I don't know why, but whatever playbook we use, we just don't target the tight end past like 5 yards. McDonald that time for Andrews, as he was targeted there like 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, but a little bit of yak there does get the 1st down as we move the chains. And now at the 44-yard line. McDonald takes the snap. Checking that one down for McCaffrey, which we definitely want to see more of. That one up the sideline for 7. I think the decision-making so far for McDonald has been improved from what we've seen so far in this year 4 season. The pocket collapsing there, but he is able to get that off for Carlos Alvarez his first catch of the game. That one for 15. I like what we're doing here on this drive now into Lions territory. A give for McCaffrey. Got to keep mixing it up. And I see we'll get 4 to the 30. 2nd and 6 now. And we will go back to him. And that time, really nothing. I mean, I guess more than nothing. He does split the deficit in half. It didn't look like 3 yards to me, but we'll take it. And now 3rd and 3 at the 27. McDonald is going to go for Darnell Washington, but he had to backtrack too much, but tries to fight ahead. I thought they might give him the forward progress. I thought he did get the first down there, but they are going to mark him down as we hit the 2-minute warning here on 4th and inches from the 24. It looks like we are going to bring the offense out onto the field and forego the field goal attempt as I stand corrected. I guess the 2-minute warning messed with that a little bit. So Joshua Carty out here for the 41-yard field goal attempt. He missed from 30 last week as that one is up and good. So 10-5 here as we're towards the end of this first half of play. Monday Night Football here from Salt Lake City. Not how you drew it up, but I guess we'll take this, especially based on how we started, as it looked like Detroit was going to show us no mercy, but still plenty of time for them to strike. 2 timeouts and a very good return here as Webster will work that past the 50. And that's that guy we keep talking about, former first-round pick out of Vandy. And he gives Jared Goff a very short field to work with. We were just talking about trying to get out of this half, how it is, as is 10-5. But Goff, plenty of time. 1:50, a couple timeouts already in Snowhawks territory. As he will rifle that down the field. And a good play there by Matthew Torrance. Jahmyr Gibbs, the intended receiver. And that's our safety, Torrance, out of Auburn, his 3rd season. Goff now on 2nd down. Sideline there for Williams. A little too high as Scruggs got over to disrupt that. Incomplete. 2 quick incompletions brings up 3rd and 10. Detroit not quite in field goal range. Goff now going to set up the screen for Gibbs. And Quay Walker read that one all the way. Tremendous vision. As the clock will continue to tick. Thought we might call a timeout with the punt incoming. As we will not. But a very big stop that time. And we really held well after those first couple drives from Detroit. Forcing some punts. As we will get the touchback here. So 56 seconds left to work with. 3 timeouts. As Lucas McDonald will try to lead a little 2-minute drill here. And get some late points to close out the first half. I want to see us take a little deep shot here, at least a couple. We don't really stretch the field too much. McDonald now a quick one there to the sideline for Andrews, as that one will go for 5 and we'll burn our first timeout. 2nd and 5 now at the 25. Andrews to the bottom of the screen. McDonald will go over to him again. At least get out of bounds, Mark. Come on, man. As he'll work that up to the 33, will not get out of bounds. As we are forced to burn another timeout, just 1 remaining, 46 seconds. McDonald again just going to check over to the near sideline, as that was behind Bigsby, incomplete. 2nd down at the 33. McDonald, pass protection holding up quite well as we go underneath as Mark Andrews breaking a few tackles there. I'm not sure how he was able to just barrel over everybody. As he was able to get 12 yards that time, but we burn our final timeout. The clock management not great. As again, McDonald just going over the middle of the field. We got to start working the sideline a little bit. Now 2nd down at the 45. We'll go over there for McCaffrey. Got to break a tackle, which he cannot. Malcolm Rodriguez all over that. The TFL. Now 3rd and 13 as time ticking down. And McDonald will promptly just fire that one out of bounds, which will bring up the punt. And we'll just put it here into the second half as we do get the ball. And I don't know why it hasn't been showing us the halftime show. But this is Golston, one of our reserve running backs on the return, brings that up to the 29. Not the worst, not the best first half for McDonald. Went by kind of quick, I feel like. But we need to get some better strikes via the air. I mean, we're only hitting like 5-6 yard catches, really. 96 passing yards, I think it said there at the bottom. And as we also want to get McCaffrey going as well. Carlos Alvarez there in motion. Fake it to him. Give for McCaffrey up the middle as he finally gets some steam, that time for 13. Now up to the 42-yard line. McDonald directly under center this time. Wicks now in motion as he will get the give. We tried it on the end around that time, but that was snuffed out. A TFL for Detroit. Now 2nd and 12. McDonald. And that will be intercepted. I have no idea what he was going for. That was so poorly telegraphed, and I can only hope that flag has something to do with it. I want to say hopefully it was like defensive pass interference, but we will see. And I think that is the call. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. That was about to be very, very sad. Dan Campbell had a lot of words there with the officials. All right, that helped me just, that I was about to just fall into like deep depression if that was Lucas McDonald on full display, as that certainly was, but dropped by Wicks. That was a nice throw right in the hands there, but the defender was there to meet Wicks and promptly knocked that one loose. So second down now at the 46 after all that mayhem, as we'll go back to McCaffrey, breaks a tackle, works it into Detroit territory, and a 3rd and 2 coming up as he makes this one a lot more manageable after that good run. Now Derrick Henry out there at running back as we're now in the I formation. McDonald checking it as we are going to go for the pass, and we get to completion there at the sideline for Wicks. He has just been super as a possession guy for us, moving the chains in these short yardage situations. Reminds me of a lot of someone like Jason Avant. If you know ball, you might know who Jason Avant was, but definitely reminiscent of that type of guy. Now, 1st and 10 at the 35, as Salt Lake City trying to take the lead here. We'll get for McCaffrey as he finds a lane. Had Darnell Washington picking up a lead block, and he gets 6. Now 2nd and 4 here. We will go back to McCaffrey. He's starting to heat up as we've gone on. Bounces off a tackle, still working forward as he gets the first down to the 23. McDonald out there empty, a fresh set of downs to work with. Harrison Jr. there, the man in motion. Got to get him going. As we're going to go for Carlos Alvarez, I think that was, as he leaped up for that one out of his reach. Rakestraw Jr. in on the coverage. And now 2nd down for the Snowhawks. Andrews motions to the bottom of the screen. McDonald on the drop back over the middle of the field has a man. That's Carlos Alvarez again. His 2nd catch, that one for 12, as that moves it down to the 11. McDonald now with McCaffrey to his left. As we go for Mark Andrews, backtracked a little bit and ends up losing 1. Kirby Joseph in on the stop, and I feel like the AI just never knows how to work. The AI offense just never knows how to work here with the short field. But hopefully I stand corrected as McDonald, that one way offline, over the head of Mark Andrews. Now 3rd and 11 at the 12. Basically need to get in the end zone to convert here. McDonald hasn't ran much, and this time he will not either. Or he'll run backwards, that is, as he's swallowed up there by Childress coming off the edge. And we cannot convert here with the touchdown in the red zone, as Joshua Carty out there for his 2nd field goal attempt. This one from 36. And I think I did mention earlier he missed from 30, so a little shaky last week as that one is up, and it is good. So a 10-8 game now here. This is like the beginning of a basketball game or something, like the first few minutes of a basketball game. I don't know if we really ever see 10-8, although maybe not as rare as you'd think with the 2-point conversion, but 2 field goals and a safety for Salt Lake City. Definitely not your traditional way of scoring, as Webster not as good of a return as earlier, to our delight, as Detroit will take the field for the first time on offense here in the 2nd half. Came out slinging it there to start the game, but I think we're going to see a heavy dose here of Jahmyr Gibbs down the stretch, as we are now outgaining them 160 to 124, which is encouraging, but not amounting to much on the scoreboard, as Goff does complete his first pass attempt of the half, that one for 2. And now 2nd and 8, Laporta to the bottom of the screen. Gibbs gets the give. Trying a little change of direction there, but really nowhere to go as Bobby Brown III in on the stop. Another quick 3rd down forced by our defense. See if we can stay strong this time. Goff over the middle has a man that's caught by Webster, as he has just been a thorn in our sides today, whether returning kicks or in the passing game. He's been tearing up McMillan a little bit. Now Goff making an adjustment there at the line on the drop back. Time to throw as he will rifle that one down the field, and again knocked down again by Scruggs. There working against Jameson Williams, and Williams did have a step or two on him, but Goff just did not deliver that one as far as it needed to go. As now 2nd and 10. He hasn't been the most efficient here, aside from those first couple drives, I feel like. And now Goff on the play action. Plenty of time to throw, as he does have a man there towards the sideline. That's going to be Jameson Williams for the first down. Now at the Snowhawks 46-yard line, a fresh set, as Goff takes the snap. Quick decision there for Reed again. I think that's the backup tight end's third catch already. That one for 6. 2nd and 4 up to the 41. Jahmyr Gibbs. And really nothing doing for Gibbs. Our run defense has held up very strong so far. You like to see that. Another 3rd and short here for the Lions. This time from the 39. Goff out there empty. Only a 4-man rush for Salt Lake City, and his pass hits a man there at the line. So what would be a 56-yard field goal attempt. I don't know if they'll do that. They don't really have the strongest special teams unit, as they are going to bring out the offense as I expected. 4th and 3 now from the I formation. And Goff on the drop back. They're going to throw here. They will check it down on the second read to the fullback, and we get the stop. Jerry Sexton, Quay Walker, I think Bobby Brown III, who was initially pancaked on the play, finally got up, got his bearings back, as Brooks was denied. And our defense seizing momentum here. What a turn of events it's been since the start of the game. Got nothing going, but now it's up to the offense. Our defense has supported us all season, and it's time to give them some run support. McCaffrey has gotten going here, as we've given him more of a workload. And hopefully he can find the end zone for the 4th straight game to start his Snowhawks career. He has scored in every game so far this season. Good field position at the 38. McDonald on the drop back, rolling right now, and he will not be able to evade that of Aidan Hutchinson. Probably going to get a half sack that time, as the sacks keep stacking up for Salt Lake City. We did make minor adjustments to the offensive line, but this offseason you're going to have to overhaul it entirely, I think. And now on 2nd and very long, we do get some back there from McCaffrey, which will bring up a 3rd and 12. Definitely do not trust this offense in these 3rd and long situations. McDonald will step up, and looked like he did have Andrews there, but a weird delivery there. Stepping up kind of off his back foot, and that one fell to the feet of Mark Andrews. So a 3 and out on what could have been a monumental drive for Salt Lake City. And that's going to be our 4th punt, I believe, of the ball game already. Now 1 minute remaining in the 3rd. A boomer there. Good coverage as the Lions now at the 29-yard line. Less than a minute remaining here in the 3rd. And our defense has been phenomenal, but it's like, how long can they hold up against one of the best offenses in the league? Even to this point, you have to be super impressed with what we've been able to accomplish. But I feel like it's going to have to come down to forcing a turnover. As Goff now, a quick one there for Gibbs towards the sideline. And a great tackle there by Nathan Scruggs, just forcing his way through everybody. Matthew Torrance there cleaning it up. So it's good to see our 2 young guys there in the secondary. Probably our 2 building blocks in that unit, making a big play that time. Now Detroit back from the I formation. Goff on the drop back. Time to throw, as our pass rush has been non-existent. And really just the trenches overall are the 2 areas of this team we really need to improve this offseason. As that will take us into the 4th quarter. So it would seem to be a game that Detroit was going to handle early on has turned into a defensive slugfest at 10-8. Who can get that final score to win this game? Because I think whoever finds the end zone next, if anyone can find the end zone next, is going to ultimately end up being the victor in this Monday Night Football matchup. Now, typically what we're accustomed to seeing here in primetime football, with the slow pace, the defensive domination. But now there's still 1 more quarter to play in a 2-point ball game here from Salt Lake City. Goff, his first attempt of the 4th quarter, as that will go incomplete. And at least in these simulations we've done, especially these slow simulations, we have been getting varied results, so that's good. I like to see that as Gibbs carry as he'll redirect up the sideline. Good vision that time on demonstration, on display, as he finds the first and then some. Next episode, we're going to have a sim-heavy episode. We'll simulate our next 4 games and get to about the halfway point of this year 4 season. Going to get a quicker pace from here on out, as Jahmyr Gibbs agreeing with the quick pace. Back-to-back first downs, big runs for Gibbs, as maybe he'll start heating up. Hopefully not in this 4th quarter of play, but we do have a bye week 10, so I kind of consider that to be the halfway point of this season, but I guess technically it would be like our 8th or 9th game. As Goff, another drop back. We need to get a sack there. He was able to get that out for Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think that was either Jones or Penei on the stop. Now 2nd and 5 at the 23. Goff from the shotgun, as Gibbs will motion in and out. And now Penei did finally win against the tackle there, but too little too late, as Goff was able to get rid of that, but still brings up a 3rd and 5, a big one here from the 23-yard line. Obviously, the difference of a field goal or a touchdown on this drive is absolutely huge here down the stretch of this 4th quarter. Goff backtracking, second read that time, and that was intended for Gibbs, but wrapped up by Nathan Scruggs, which will bring on the 40-yard field goal attempt as Detroit looks to make it a 13-8 football game. 9:59 remaining. A 40-yard field goal attempt for, I believe, a rookie kicker or a second-year kicker, around 65 overall or so, but good enough to get the job done in that spot, as Salt Lake City still can get control of this game, or at least a lead with a touchdown. But Lucas McDonald and the offense going to have to get a late spark here, as we have not had many big plays, if any. And now Dak Kitchens on for another return. Has had a couple good ones in this game, but not so much at that time. But I guess we will take it at the 28. And McDonald, man, you need your moment. It's been very mundane, very slow in this game particularly, but especially over the course of this season so far. But a good drive here, and that's all forgotten if we can get a win here in prime time against the top team in the NFL. As nothing doing that time for McCaffrey. 2nd and 10 now. Empty look for Salt Lake City. Marvin Harrison Jr., the man in motion. As what are we doing? What was that play design? Everyone just sat there at the line. No one had a downfield route, I don't think. That was just absolutely pitiful. Let's try to do a little bit better here on 3rd and 10 and not have a 3 and out again. As that one out of the reach for Andrews, just a quick decision again by McDonald, but maybe to his demise that time. Gotta let it settle and make a sound decision, as our offense just no cohesion again this week. And I don't know what it's going to take. Another good punt that time, as Detroit will take over at the 29. 9:02 remaining in this Week 4 matchup on Monday Night Football. As I feel like we just keep putting Jared Goff and the offense. We cannot sustain anything offensively. And we're going to have to make some changes. I have been focusing on our game plan a lot more, but it looks like that hasn't really made much of a difference, as Detroit did not let that one develop, and Goff again incomplete. Now the fullback out on the field for the Lions, Laporta in motion, Goff on the drop back. Again, just a 4-man rush for Salt Lake City, as Jerry Sexton, a big hit that time on Gibbs. A 1-yard loss, shot out of a cannon, as I like to say. And we need some momentum here defensively. Forcing a punt deep in their own zone would be nice. 3rd and 11 here from the 28. They're going to set up the screen, and they don't get the blocks. And we get the tackle. Sexton there on the 2nd attempt, as we do get the stop there on 3rd down. Going to break up a 4th and 5 now. And I mean, we force another punt, but is anything going to come of it? As Detroit punting from the 33-yard line. Imagine a block right there. That would just be something our defense would deliver, it seems like. So a fair catch there at the 30, and I can't say it anymore at how much we need Lucas McDonald to deliver in one of these big spots. Everything else will be forgotten if you can lead a late touchdown drive here against the undefeated Lions. McDonald going to sling that one and finds a man, but it's going to be dropped on Tavion Wicks. Could not hang on. McDonald found him in the soft spot, but the contact too hard that time, as another incompletion on 1st down. And again, 2nd and 10. We'll get for McCaffrey, as his 2nd attempt that time to find a lane does work. He'll get 5. And now a 3rd and 5 from the 36. McDonald again fires over the head of Mark Andrews. Just these misses have been so detrimental. Someone like Mark Andrews, just throw it in his vicinity, in his area, and he can come down with it. But if you just miss him altogether, it's not going to work. You got to give him a chance. So another 3 and out for the offense. Adios mio. As that one is a nice tackle there. I don't know why Quay Walker's on special teams, but we're just all for the chaos at this point. And this game has just been dragging, it seems like. And as I said, it might just take a turnover defensively if we're going to find the end zone here, trailing by 5. A field goal for the Lions still is a 1-possession game, but a touchdown probably all but does it, as a huge sack that time. Jerry Sexton trying to put matters into his own hands. The 2nd-year linebacker out of UW, Defensive Rookie of the Year from last season. As he had a big play last drive, and now starting this one with an exclamation point. on the blitz there, a 9-yard loss. And we needed something, and he answered the call. I think probably his first sack of the season. Now Detroit back to their 19 here, 2nd and 19. 6:20 remaining in the game. Goff has a man open, but that's going to be dropped. A lot of drops also. That's Webster, who has been very good in this one. A lot of drops through contact in this game. And as we said earlier, just like a defensive slugfest, a true battle. We don't see many of these low-scoring affairs here in these slow sims, I feel like. Or at least not this low-scoring. Now Goff has a man there on 3rd down, and he will be stopped just short. Again, that was Webster. And who else but Jerry Sexton to be there to get the stop. And I can't imagine they're going to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own zone, as they do not. So, again, we forced the punches. Trading punts here. Has there been any scoring in this second half? I think just 1 field goal so far. So now another fair catch there from Dak Kitchens. And we'll do it all over again. Lucas McDonald, this is your moment. What else can we say that hasn't already been said? I guess at this point it's just like, just don't go 3 and out. Can we just sustain a drive, please? 74 yards to the house. Like that's all we need. As McCaffrey will get 5 to the outside. Now 2nd and 5 with 5 minutes remaining. McDonald goes back for McCaffrey up the middle. Really nothing doing. Now 3rd and 4 and just 5 combined 3rd down conversions in this game for both sides. McDonald on the drop back, and you could already tell that one was going out of bounds. So I don't know what else to say about this AI offensively for us. Just every game we seem to watch, it's just unbearable. So I don't know if anyone has any suggestions or if we're just going to keep rolling with what we've been doing. But I feel like it hasn't always been this bad, but maybe we just have to get better. Maybe that's just what it is. As another punt here for Salt Lake City. And I guess at this point we can only hope to force another punt. 40 pass attempts in this game for Jared Goff, the 2nd leading passer entering this week at just over 200, 1 touchdown pass, which has been the lone touchdown in this game. 13-8 Detroit trying to close this one out. 4:14 remaining. And they will fake it for Gibbs. Goff. That's going to be picked off. Is that Jerry Sexton? Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness. 4:07 left as we'll take over at the Detroit 22. Jerry Sexton seriously trying to put matters into his own hands in this game. I mean, Lucas McDonald, it cannot be served up any better for you. And that was just right over the middle. Again, that backup tight end was the target. And Sexton kind of just lurking there. Goff off the fake. I thought they would just, feed Gibbs down the stretch, milk the clock. But the first turnover of this game, a huge one, as we're now at the 23-yard line. A supremely short field to work with. As Derrick Henry, his first give, that gets nothing. Just 168 total yards in this game for Salt Lake City, but Detroit, maybe the best defense in the NFC. And McDonald this time will run it. Haven't seen that too much. McDonald, first down and then some, as he tried pointing for a block. And now 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. And we just got to start draining the clock at this point. Less than 3 minutes remaining. 1st and goal at the 6. Good yardage that time off the scramble. Check that out for McCaffrey, as he can't get anything going, as he did try though. 2nd and goal at the 6. Don't tell me we're going to get held up here at the doorstep. And that time, McDonald going to be sacked, which will bring us to the 2-minute warning. So a 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line. 13-8 from Snowhawks Stadium. Week 4 of this year 4 season. A huge game for our Snowhawks at 1-2, trying to take down the undefeated Lions. McDonald has Mark Andrews, and again, what are these depth of targets? We're throwing it to him 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage every single time. And now less than a minute 30 remaining in this game. 4th and goal from the 7. Let me guess, we're going to throw to him at the 5-yard line. McDonald for the end zone! And that's going to be a turnover on downs. He caught it but couldn't get both feet in. And that was Dontavion Wicks. What a missed opportunity for our Snowhawks. Denied. We still have 3 timeouts, but a first down here, and this game is over. And they are going to go to the booth review. How crazy would it be if this gets overturned? But I think in real time, I don't think it, yeah, that's definitely not a catch. I don't think he even had 1 foot in. That's not even a catch in college, I don't think. So I don't know why they're wasting our time here. as it does stand. So they will give for Gibbs here on first down. A stop there, and we will call a timeout. 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 now at the 10. And Lucas McDonald, man, I don't know. I don't know if he's our franchise quarterback. A lot of question marks surrounding his ability to lead this team, lead this offense. As he just has not been able to deliver. Our defense has been doing everything they can. I've been standing on their heads every week so far. And our offense just has not been able to answer the call. But they will get one more chance here, as we do force the 3 and out from the 10-yard line. So, I mean, everything I just said could just be erased with a killer drive this time. Another good punt, as Kitchens will return that down to the 44-yard line. So, one timeout, 1:03 remaining, and this is like the 6th or 7th time that McDonald could have led a go-ahead drive. No more excuses. One timeout, 44 yards, another short field here. Like, come on, man. We need to get it going. McDonald going to be picked off. And that is not getting it going. That's getting it going the other way, as Ennis Rakestraw Jr. on the first play of this last-ditch effort for for Salt Lake City could not seize the opportunity. And I think there's huge questions now. Do we have our franchise quarterback? I mean, it was a promising first and second season for McDonald. He had, I think, even X-Factor abilities or superstar abilities, but just huge regression since then. As our Salt Lake City Snowhawks going to fall to 1-3 now on this year 4 season. But as I said, next time out, we are going to sim ahead 4 more games, so we're going to try to accelerate it a little bit more and hopefully see more of what we have to work with this year. I think it's kind of unfair to consider the teams we played. You know, San Francisco has been the champion in the NFC West every year so far. The Lions are arguably the best team in the NFL. So to go 1-3, and also we played Chicago, last year's NFC North champion. So to go 1-3, I'm not too upset about. I kind of tempered my expectations to start this year 4 season, but the next stretch, the next 4 games, like the next quarter of this season, I think will have a huge dictation of where we really stand. But that's going to do it here in week 4 from Monday Night Football. There's so many missed opportunities. We have a lot to work on offensively. Our defense, though, cannot say more about them, especially Jerry Sexton there down the stretch. Try to do everything he could to steal this game for us, but our offense could not get any points. Just 2 field goals, a safety, and that amounted in 8 points. We lose 13-8 here on Monday Night Football in front of our home fans. And next time out, I believe we are on the road against the Cleveland Browns. But this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Such a, I feel so much sorrow in these episodes when we don't perform well. I really hope that you tune back despite the results, as I really do think we're building a strong team here. We have a lot of draft capital, a ton of cap space to work with, so we have been putting those foundational pieces in place in these past couple of drafts, but it takes more than one or 2 drafts to build a team, even here in Madden, as we've proved over the course of this franchise. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.